Sporting are increasingly convinced that Geny Catamo will not be joining Sunderland this summer, a bowler reports, and they say they have no intention of letting him leave before the window shuts. What is blocking it is not the size of the offer, it is which part of the offer is guaranteed. Sporting want €40 million as a fixed fee. A bowler puts the rejected bid at €30 million plus €10 million in performance add-ons, while Ojogo reports the same bid as €33 million plus 7, and the two Portuguese papers do not agree on that split. I am not going to pick between them. Both versions arrive at a similar headline total, and both fall short in the only column a selling club reads when it does not need the money, which is the sum that lands whether the player does anything in England or not. Add-ons pay Sporting later for a result they cannot control. Fixed money pays them now. Above all of it sits a reported release clause of £51 million. That number is the only one that takes the decision out of Sporting's hands, which means every bid beneath it can be refused for free, indefinitely, without anybody in Lisbon having to justify it. Rui Borges was asked about the interest and said he had spoken to Geny as he speaks to the others, that the winger is training well, playing well, and completely focused on Sporting. He went further in his press conference before the match, talking about keeping emotional balance and pointing out that the market invents arrivals and departures every week. That is a manager who knows his club holds the stronger hand. They hold it because of what Catamo has become. 43 caps for Mozambique, 21 goals and 17 assists for Sporting, back-to-back Liga Portugal titles, and 2 assists already from the opening 2 fixtures of this campaign. A talent scout quoted in coverage of him called him the King of Lisbon. Ojogo describes him as a decisive player, Sporting are reluctant to lose. A club does not sell that profile at a discount to fund somebody else's season, and the 4-year contract on offer at the Stadium of Light, which Ojogo says Catamo is very keen on, changes nothing about the mechanics. The player wanting the move only matters when the price is negotiable. Sunderland's own summer has quietly made this harder than it was. A £32 million deal for Dejan Methely has been completed with Toulouse. £8 million has been agreed with Royal Antwerp for Jules Ahoka, who arrives as understudy to Granit Xhaka. And Thomas Meunier has come in on a free. Both fullback positions have been addressed. The middle of the pitch has been given a 20-year-old for the years ahead, and the captain stayed despite reported interest from Chelsea. All sensible. But that is a large amount of committed money now sitting in defence and midfield, and it is money that can no longer be moved into the guaranteed column of a bid for a winger. The version of this club best placed to pay Sporting in plain cash existed a few weeks ago, which is how a £15 million alternative enters the conversation. OnTheMinute.com report that Sunderland have joined Brentford and Ipswich Town in looking at Derry Sherhant of Freiburg, with no formal approach made by any of them yet. And that sourcing is light enough to treat as a look rather than a move. He is 22. He started 12 Bundesliga matches last season, scored 5 goals and missed only 2 big chances, which is an efficient return on a small pile of minutes. His career has been spent mostly through the middle, 80 appearances as a centre-forward for 31 goals and 14 assists, with another 80 on the left wing. So the two options ask completely different things of the side. Catamo arrives as a finished right-sided starter who has just produced in a title-winning team, and the price reflects exactly that. Sherhant arrives as a forward who has played wide, on a fraction of the fee, needing the coaching staff to be right about him. Regis Labrie has Enzo Lefebvre and Xhaka to supply passes, and Brian Brobby to occupy the box. And the flank profile he adds decides whether this attack gets a reliable outlet or a project. My read is that the club should stop improving the add-ons and either find the fixed €40 million or move properly for the cheaper option, because half measures on both leaves the season starting with neither. Nothing forces Sporting's hand short of that £51 million clause. The next real decision belongs to Sunderland, and Brentford and Ipswich Town are looking at the same fallback.